Welcome to A Moment with Kasisi. For my friends in Kenya, happy Madaraka Day. And for my friends in the United States, happy Memorial Day. In today's broadcast, we will be thinking about our call to celebrate other people's success. I want you to think with me of a moment when you were very successful and you longed for other people to celebrate you. And as you think about that moment also, think about a friend of yours who was also quite successful at some time in his life or her life, and he equally or she equally expected you to celebrate her. As we think about John chapter 3, verse 29 and 30, we will be meeting John, who desired to celebrate the success of his master, the Messiah, his friend, and to whom he had come as a witness. As I do things different today, and you're going to notice the difference, I invite you to walk with me in this journey as we continue seeking wisdom together, that we may gain understanding. And as I mentioned, we are looking at the book of John, chapter number 3, and verse 29 and 30. And this, again, is a continuation of our discussion from the previous segment. In this section, we encounter John responding to his disciples saying, the one who was the bride, or who has the bride, is the bridegroom. But the friend of the bridegroom, standing by and listening for him, he rejoices greatly on account of the voice of the bridegroom. Therefore, this joy, or this my joy, is made complete. And verse 30 says, it is necessary then that for that one, here of course is Jesus, to increase, but for me to decrease. For a second time, John introduces to us to the concept of a wedding. But this time it's deeper. He talks of a bride and a bridegroom. And in my translations, as you have noticed, I have emphasized the element of bride and bridegroom, just like any other translator. Who is the bride in this case? John says that whoever has the bride, he is the bridegroom. Definitely, John is here making it very quite emphatic that he is not the bridegroom, that he is not the one with the bride. And we will later encounter the in-depth understanding of bride in the book of John. But in this case, he redirects his students and his disciples to the bridegroom himself. But before he does so, he also brings up a very important concept in this idea of bridegroom, and in the concept of those who are friends to the bridegroom or even to the bride. That friends of the bridegroom or the bride are actually nothing else but witnesses. Witnesses of what is happening between the bride and the bridegroom. It is a celebration, and John desires that he is not the one to be celebrated, but actually the bridegroom is the one to be celebrated. And for this reason, John says then that one who, the bridegroom, is to increase, but for me, I decrease. It is necessary for him to increase and for me to decrease. We'll be learning a few points in this very brief moment where John encounters his disciples. And here they are. When you witness your friend's success, do you celebrate it? Our call today, as we see in John, is to celebrate other people's success. Because when we celebrate other people's success, as we see in the case of John, a few things happen. A few things that are very important to every Christian, to every believer. And the first of these, celebrating others requires that we adopt an attitude of praise and loving, where we love and where we learn to praise. According to John, when the bridegroom receives with joy the sound or the voice of the bridegroom, his joy or her joy increases. Celebrating others means that we gain positivity in our way of looking at things. We are able to celebrate with great joy. And for that reason, we are able to guard our hearts from bitterness and from unproductive competition. And this is what ruins most of our relationships. When we celebrate others, we are actually declaring that we are courageous. It is a mark of courage. It is a mark of selflessness, that you are declaring the attention is not upon you, but the attention is on them that are quite successful. And last but not least, it is a mark of humility. Brothers and sisters, as we continue seeking wisdom together, and as you continue gaining understanding, may we learn how to celebrate the success of others. And as we have learned from John, he refused to be drawn into unnecessary competition, but instead celebrated the Messiah. And in the celebration, he received great joy. He developed a positive outlook towards his own ministry and towards the ministry of Jesus Christ. And he had the audacity to praise and even to love, guarding himself from unnecessary bitterness and unproductive competition, which definitely marks or tells us more about John, that he's a man of courage, he's a selfless man, and he was a selfless man. And in that alone, we learn humility. I thank you so much for walking with me in this journey. And as we continue understanding the things of John, I want to trust and believe that you be blessed. In the meantime, I commend you to Jesus Christ, and I thank you, and I trust that we shall be able to be meeting each other, talking to each other, and sharing our own successes as we celebrate other people's and our friends' successes. Allow me to celebrate your successes, and I will allow you to celebrate my successes. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord help you gain understanding and wisdom at the same time. Amen and amen.